What if I told you that what you're doing right now will affect your children and grandchildren? Welcome to Epigenetics. As epi means above, epigenetics is focused on changes above or outside the genome itself, not interfering with its sequence. Even though these modifications don't change the DNA sequence itself, they can largely affect gene activity. Let's observe this phenomena on two simple sentences. Most of the time, travelers forget their luggage. Most of the time, travelers forget their luggage. The letters stay the same, and the only difference is the punctuation, yet the meaning is very different. In our bodies, these punctuation marks would be epigenetic tags, tiny chemicals that attach to our DNA and help determine whether genes are turned on or off, and can influence the production of proteins in certain cells. The cells in our body contain the exact same DNA, but differ drastically. For example, proteins that promote bone growth are not produced in muscle cells, meaning that those genes are turned off. It's all thanks to epigenetic processes, such as methylation and histone modification. Methyl groups are attached to the DNA, at the same place where proteins attach to activate the gene. Due to a blocking methyl group, the protein can't attach. Therefore, the gene remains off, and it can't be transcribed and formed into a corresponding protein. As your DNA is extremely long, in order to fit into our cells, it is wrapped around these special proteins called histones. By adding acetyl groups, DNA will be loosely coiled, easily read and transcribed into proteins. The result is opposite when acetyl group is removed. Epigenetic changes can be caused by environmental factors that we are exposed to. Experiments have shown that when mother rats didn't express love towards their pups, genes in the babies that help them manage stress were methylated and turned off. This resulted in not only one but 2 generations of anxious rats. Meaning that some epigenetic changes are hereditary, so you're not only what you eat, but also what your grandma eats. Epigenetic changes have been shown to be correlated with many human diseases. It is thought that both increases and decreases in methylation may cause cancer by turning on too many growth-promoting genes or turning off tumor-suppressing genes. Researchers have worked to develop medications that reactivate them. A better knowledge of nutrition would help us both avoid negative epigenome alterations, and perhaps a single dietary intervention could reduce the risk of metabolic diseases across generations. Even though some epigenetic changes are heritable, they're not permanent. So before you start cursing your grandparents for their lifestyle choices, you should consider all the ways you can alter your epigenome and remove those tags.